ever have those moments where you feel completely frozen, stuck in a slow, hopeless pose? Like you're immobilized and you just can't make a decision, no matter how small it seems to be. Maybe you find yourself scrolling through same old job postings, but you don't dare apply. Or you weigh the pros and cons of a relationship until your mind just goes numb, but you fail to make a move. It's so easy to tell ourselves that we're just being lazy, that we need more discipline. But what if it's not about laziness at all? What if that feeling of being trapped, of being paralyzed, is actually a deep-seated fear? A specific and often hidden anxiety about change. Some have given it a name, metathesiophobia, and it just might be the unseen force controlling your life. This isn't some shameful character flaw. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a truly human response to the great unknown. In our time together today, we're going to go below the surface. We'll uncover the hidden signs of this potent fear, understand the deep-seated reasons it has such a powerful grip on us, and most importantly, I'm going to share how we can start to take back control, one small step at a time. So if you're tired of watching your own life from the sidelines, stay with me. Welcome to Waves of Change. This is my journey of retiring, relocating, and writing what peace means for me. Because you're never too late and your peace is never too far. So what is this feeling of being stuck? Is it more than just putting things off? It's a profound paralysis. On the surface, it looks like procrastination. It's that important email you keep telling yourself, I'll do it later. It's a new hobby you researched for hours, but the equipment is still sitting in the box. But underneath, there's a deeper emotional tangle we often call analysis paralysis. This is when the sheer weight of a decision becomes so overwhelming that our brain just shorts out. I know this place. Years ago, I had a choice, a promising job in a massive city or stay in my sleepy, familiar hometown. I made lists that ran for days. My mind would spin and wind caught between quiet comfort I had and the loud ambition I craved. You research every outcome. You make endless pros and cons lists, but all that information doesn't bring clarity. It just creates a deep, dense fog. The fear of making the wrong choice becomes so intense that you end up making no choice at all. And that, of course, is a choice in itself. A choice to stay right where you are. This is where the real battle begins, the one inside our own heads. We start to criticize ourselves. Why can't I just decide? This self-doubt creates a painful draining chain. The indecision shrinks our confidence, and low confidence makes us even more afraid of future decisions. It's an exhausting loop. But it's so important to hear this. The procrastination and the analysis paralysis, those aren't the root problems. They're the symptoms. They're the smoke, not the roaring fire. Now let's put a name to this invisible force. There's a term for this intense, paralyzing fear of change. Metathesiophobia. Don't let that word alone throw you. It isn't a formal diagnosis you'll find in a medical textbook either. What matters is giving a name to the feeling, because it's an anxiety rooted in any disruption to the flow of how things are right now. When we hear the fear of change, we think of the big things like moving to a new city or starting a new career. But this fear can show up in much quieter ways. The signs are things many of us feel every day. The constant struggle to make a decision, that low, slow hum of anxiety when you face something new, or overthinking every single possibility. It can even show up in our bodies as profound stress, headaches, or sleepless nights. So what's happening here? This fear isn't about a specific bad outcome. It's often a fear of change itself. The unknown feels dangerous. Researchers have found that uncertainty registers in our brain in a similar way as an era. So even if your current situation is making you miserable, a job that drains you, a routine that feels empty, a relationship that's ran its course, your brain might still prefer it. Why? Because it's a known misery. You know the rules. You know what to expect. The pain is predictable. Change, on the other hand, oh man, is a total loss of that predictability. It's a blank page, a blank space that can be a lonely, terrifying space. Your brain's internal security system flags any change as a threat, triggering a system-wide lockdown. Your mind isn't just weighing the pros and cons, it's screaming that any step away is a threat. So why does our brain do this? Why can change feel so threatening? The answer is buried deep in our psychology and our brain's wiring for survival. First, there's a perceived loss of control. Our routines and habits create a bubble of bliss and predictability. Inside this bubble, we feel we have a handle on our lives. Change bursts that bubble. It throws in uncertainty, which our brains reads as danger, danger. It's an ancient instinct. Sticking to a known path kept our ancestors safe from pain. Wandering off was a huge risk. Our brains are still running that ancient software. The second powerful force is loss aversion. Simply put, the pain of losing something feels about twice as strong as the pleasure of gaining something of equal importance. Check this out. Losing $20 feels so much worse than the fleeting joy of finding $20. Think about it. Every decision to change involves giving something up. You let go of the present for a future that isn't promised. Your brain's aversion to loss magnifies the fear of losing what you have now, even a predictable unhappiness, and makes it feel far more real than the potential joy you could ever gain. And finally, there's a simple energy cost of exchange. Our brains are efficiency experts. They love creating shortcuts, which we call habits. Change forces your brain to tear up those old efficient roads and build brand new ones. And that takes a tremendous amount of mental energy. It's the mental equivalent of trying to walk through deep sand. It's no wonder our brain's default setting is to resist it. When you combine that resistance with fear of losing control and the sting of potential loss, you get the perfect storm of paralysis. If this is starting to resonate with you, if you're having that aha moment, consider subscribing. We explore these kinds of deep-seated patterns here so we can gain the tools to know ourselves better below the surface to create the lives that we truly want to live. So we've looked at the problem. We know the reasons our brains fight change. That awareness is the biggest first step. Now, what do we do about it? This isn't about finding a magic button to be free of fear. It's about learning to take action right alongside it. Let's walk through 5 practical strategies. Number 1, reframe change as growth, not loss. First shift is internal. Right now, your brain frames change as a threat. Our job is to consciously start telling a new story, to see change as a chance to grow. Instead of letting your mind spiral down the what if I fail rabbit hole, intentionally ask a different question. No matter what happens, what can I learn from this? If your goal is to make that one perfect decision, you will stay paralyzed. But if your goal is to simply learn and gather experience, then no outcome is ever a true failure. Every step, successive step back, gives you valuable information. Step 2, turn the mountain into pebbles. The fear isn't about one tiny step. It's about the whole mountain of change looming over you. So break it down into the smallest, most simple steps you can imagine. This is called gradual exposure. The goal isn't to get to the finish line immediately. The goal is to build a little momentum and show your anxious brain that a small move isn't a catastrophe. For example, if you're thinking about applying for a new job, don't just try to rewrite your entire resume today. The first pebble is just to find 3 job descriptions you like. That's it. These tiny actions are too small to set off your brain's alarms, and they build a track record of small wins. Step 3, become an observer of your mind. Your fear wants you lost in the storm of anxious thoughts. Mindfulness is the practice of stepping outside of the storm and simply watching it. It's about creating space between you and your fear. You are not your anxiety. You are the one noticing the anxiety. Start with a simple 5-minute breathing exercise each day. When anxious thoughts show up, just notice them without judgment, like clouds floating by. And gently bring your focus back to your breath, or write your fears down. Getting swirling abstract fears onto paper makes them feel more concrete and a lot less potent. Step 4, embrace good enough. Perfectionism keeps us stuck. It's the belief that we have to find that one perfect, optimal choice, and anything less would be a disaster. This is a trap that puts an impossible weight on our shoulders and makes us wait. The antidote is to embrace the good enough decision. Remind yourself that most decisions are not permanent. You can always make a new choice later. Give yourself permission to make a decision based on what you know right now, and trust your future self to handle what comes next. Progress is always more important than perfection. Step 5, and what I feel is one of the most important. Build your circle of support. Remember, this is not a battle to fight alone. Fear loves isolation. It grows bolder in the echo chamber of your mind. Talk to a trusted friend, a family member, or a mentor. Voicing your fear almost always shrinks it down to size. And if this fear is truly obstructing your life, please consider seeking professional help. Therapies like cognitive behavior therapy are incredibly effective. Reaching out for help is never a sign of weakness. It's a profound show of strength and commitment to your own well-being. So let's bring this all home. That deep, depleting fear of being trapped is not because you're lazy or broken. It's a real and understandable protective response from our brain, an attempt to keep us safe from the unknown by locking us in the familiar. But we are not powerless. By understanding this is a fear response, we can begin to treat it with kindness. We can tell a new story about change. You can break down overwhelming goals into smaller steps. You can practice by creating space for your anxiety. You can let go of the impossible weight of perfection. And you can find strength by leaning on others. You are not broken, my friend. You are profoundly human. By acknowledging this fear without judgment and by taking small, courageous steps, you can begin to loosen fear's grip. The goal is to not live a life totally free of fear. The goal is to learn to act alongside it. Your future isn't a terrifying unknown to be avoided. It's an open door, an unwritten score. And today, you can make the decision to pick up the pen. If this was helpful, please give it a like and maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which one of these steps you might want to try first. I'm Vanessa, and this is Waves of Change. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, you're never too late, and your peace is never too far. Bye now.